Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed population of the internets, the netizens of the internet lands, every once in a while, you get something so special that I hope my excitement comes through. And you can appreciate this as much as I do. But if you're watching the video, you already know what it is. But we're going to pretend you don't, because I want to drone on for a second before we get it out there. Sometimes you just need that spinner. You just need that spinner that's special because it's special to you and it means something to you because of just what it is. You find that spinner that speaks to you on a personal level. And a while ago, I was completely blown away by this guy. Oh yeah, this is the first time I'm moving in here. Look at that, 60 frames per second. I don't think this has got the 60 frame per second treatment. Now you can see that this is getting some wear on the corners here. Because I jam on this. I love this spinner. One of my go-to spinners, if not the go-to spinner when I don't have anything else to spin. And part of what I love about it, I'm loving more and more, is just the fact that it does, the blackening that's on here wears off as you use it. So the more you use it, it's kind of like it gets some miles on it and you can appreciate it. So, but yeah, I was just completely blown away by this spinner when I got it for so many reasons. I like things that are simple yet complex. I like things that have some juxtapositioning going on, and I like teaching you new words, everybody. So this was wonderful. So when they reached out to me about this little guy, I was probably one of the first people out there to get a sneak peek of this. Yeah, I was excited about this guy. You know, and after I did the review of this, I should say, this kind of leads into where this came from. When I did the review of this guy, I had my eye set on another spinner that they make. And after the review, the guy reached out to me, Eugene reached out to me and said how much he appreciated the review and that how much Ivan liked it and all that good stuff, which made me feel good, also felt good, to know that they appreciate that. And I was sort of kind of joking because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to get this. What's in here? Did we open up the right way? Oh, we opened it upside down. Oh, well, that's nice. Because this is something neat. Check out what he sent me. A little bonus gift for me because they appreciate me and I appreciate them. Ba-da-da-da. Look at that. FIFA World Cup. Little limited edition, little Russian coin here. I don't know what the currency specifically is, but yeah, I just think it's neat. So I appreciate the little token there, the little gift. And it's neat, right? Kind of a limited thing. So. Let's flip this over this way. But, oh, there it is. There it is. I told him how much I appreciated the look of this spinner. And I said, I think I'm going to have to get one of these. And I was sort of half joking at the time. Just because I was like, I've already got this. Do I really need this? And you know what he told me? He's like, he told me he couldn't recommend me getting this because he's like, it's not really any different than this. You know, we just did some work on it. And I appreciate that sort of honesty, right? They're not out there just trying to make a quick buck and just sell me something they don't need. They want to sell me something that I'll enjoy. And, you know, I already had one of these. But I just loved it too much. So I said, you know what? You know what, Internet, I said, I like these guys. I'm going to put my PayPal where my mouth is. And we're going to get one. So this is pricey. This is, without question, a luxury item. This is something that you really only get if you've got some extra money to spend and you've never gotten a Compoform. But if you're going to spend this kind of money, I would probably recommend getting one of these first just to make sure you will like it, although I think you will, because this is $300. That's right, this is a big money spinner. This is very expensive, but it's hand-carved, hand-done. The buttons are laser. I'm 99.9% sure they're laser, mainly because they are identical. Right, so if we look at them like this, let's just appreciate those buttons while we're taking a look at the fact that they're identical, right? You look at the cuts that are going on there and everything is the same in the same place, so that's got to be laser. But everything else, like if you look at the little dents around the outside, those are not the same. Those are hand done. You look at the grooves on the outside here, whoops, they are not identical. So I know that most of this is done by hand. And then it gives me an extra set of Hydra buttons, which is nice because Hydra buttons on anything are exciting that they'll fit on. So yeah, let's just breathe this in for a minute. So it just looks so gorgeous. Like this is a masterpiece. This is art. You know, I said that about the Geica, I've said that about the Compoform, and I say it even more now with this guy. It is just a beautiful, stunning, stunning, stunning piece. So these guys got to be up there with like my favorites. It's just, I just love everything about it. It just speaks to me on like a personal level, right? You find that spinner, you find that company, you find those guys doing that, and this is just it. So, you know, maybe we're skipping ahead now, but it's just top of mind. Look how good that looks spinning too. Can I recommend this spinner? It is hard for me to recommend this exact one, only because I think you got to love it as much as I do. And I think everybody will love something like this to a degree, but are you going to love it enough to spend $300 versus the, you know, the 100 and change that this is 123, 132, something like that? I should have looked it up before I did this, but the Google Doc I'll put in the description down below. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about how it spins and how it feels. So a couple things that I like about this guy. You know, I've been spinning this one back and forth, trying to get a feel for the two of them to try to appreciate the difference. So with this guy being smooth, there is something really nice about this being smooth, but there is something really nice about this having this texture. So when you go to stop it, it feels different than this does. So despite being essentially the exact same spin in a lot of ways, they are very different in how they feel in a lot of ways. So grabbing the corner feels very different because you're getting this texture along the top. The spin profile is also very... Here, let's flip it like this because I want to get this one going a little faster. You almost get like this animation in the weights of the arms. Here, let me move this light like so. See if I can get it to pick it up. It doesn't look like it's really quite picking it up, but in person you get, it looks almost like a little animation, just because there's just some simple vibration or shaking in the pattern that's here in the arms. And again, you guys know how much I like looking at my Compoform at this angle. I'll bring the light back up. But then spinning them like this, you get that kind of like ghosty type effect, but this one just has a little bit more character, a little bit more life. Although this one gets more and more of that as you spin it more and you start to wear in the corners and get some different, like get more of that brass showing. Yeah, look at that, like kind of ghosting type effect. So neat. Spin time wise, so the bearing that came in it, I don't see it advertised as like a lubed bearing or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it is a hybrid ceramic. It's got the same C-clamp retention ring, which you definitely want to get yourself a pair of spring, what is that, snap ring pliers, or again, I just made mine out of some clippers here. But then it also makes it one of the easiest bearings to take out once you do that. But I'm pretty sure we're looking at a hybrid ceramic here. Yeah, that looks like hybrid ceramic right in there. Anyway, it's a little hard to see on the camera, but anyway, so it came with a little bit of like grease or oil or lube or something in there, and I wasn't sure. It didn't really, it spun kind of smooth, but not like that. But then when I took the bearing out, behind the bearing, inside the little cage that it sits in there, it had a little bit of grease or something going on in there. While we got the buttons off. We'll weigh it again. Right, so 65 grams, so the actual spinner, 65 grams. And then some heavy buttons, 35 gram buttons, so all together. Oh, come on, why'd you do that? Did you see what that did? It just went all ham on me. Right, so right over 100 grams, which is nice. So I should also say that, like, these are very well balanced. So despite being like dremeled and carved by hand, they put in the work to make sure it's balanced. So it's not perfect, but it's very, very close. Which I'm not sure which way I missed. But it's very close to the point where you really can't feel anything. So anyway, so the bearing was a little, I didn't notice it being like really feeling like it was lubed or feeling dirty or feeling junky or feeling slow. But when I did a spin on it, I was getting, I think, just over like 2 minutes on a spin. So I took it out and I was like, oh, it looks like there's some grease or something in there, or some oil rather, not grease. Cleaned it out. Doesn't really feel much different. It feels a little faster, but now we're getting about 6.5 minutes on a table spin and over 8 minutes on a vertical spin. And they're probably not even the best spins. And I did that spin time after cleaning it, but then spinning it a bunch as well. So it probably can get even better spin times. And as this bearing, I think, breaks in, I think we'll get even higher than that. So this might be one worth, just for giggles, throwing my super high spin time, either my SBHC2s, which are good and they're in stock now. Go get them, super bearings, or like my nylon cage Spinetic, which is getting me some really good spin times. Just to have something comparable, so I can see like, hey, I know those get like 14, 15 minutes in the Triton. What are they doing? Something like this, just for really checking spin times. But yeah, absolutely fantastic to fidget with. So the textures on the outside of the arms feel not rough, but like they yeah, I don't know how to explain it. But it's fantastic to fidget with, and as I fidget with it more, I'm really appreciating the little subtleties of that texture, and over something like this. So there's still certainly a place for this, and I like this quite a bit. And there are times where I think I'll prefer spinning this, but I don't know. There's just something warm about this. And again, this takes that juxtaposition theme to a whole nother level. So let's talk about that in a minute. So we've got a very simple, well-executed design, right? And we know simple is difficult, yet it's got a very complex spin character that I really appreciate. It's very heavy, yet spins very light. It's very modern in terms of the designs and the angles, but it's very antique in terms of the look and the finish. And then we take that to the whole nother level where we've got metal made to look like wood. So this just takes it to that next level. It's like the perfect design for this, just to kick it up that one step. It is a masterpiece. It's Beethoven's Fifth. Was that his best one, or the one he was considered his best? This is kind of interesting too, right? See the little, it almost looks like it's vibrating or off balance because of the pattern of the arms, the way that goes around. But if we line it up against something, let's see. If we look at the very absolute edge of it on this little blue dot right there, it's not wobbling against it at all. I can zoom in on that too. Right, see that edge is like perfect. Fantastic spinner. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to drone on for 10 plus minutes. I really like my videos to go 10 plus minutes. I think that lets me know that I'm covering all the things I need to cover and I'm hitting all the things that I need to hit. You know, because in doing a review of this, I didn't want to just say all the same stuff I said over that again. But if you didn't see this review, it's worth noting again, this is a fantastic fidgeter just from the sake of the shape of the arms. These curved out weights allow you to really flick off really well, allow you to pull in really well. This type of fidgeting you can just get on because of the way these arms are weighted and shaped. I can almost always get on the top of an arm here. When I'm trying to show it, it doesn't really work, but when I'm in there actually doing it, I'm on the top of an arm almost every time. Which makes that very satisfying. And you get fast pulls on this, like it feels fast. Whoops. But even gentle spinning is nice because, again, the weight is really pushed out there for the most part, and it's a relatively light spinner that it feels fast even with a light pull. And I bet I would get 4 minutes on a spin like that, honestly. No joke. And see, look like it looks like it's wobbling, but it feels smooth. Juxtaposition everywhere. Looks rough and wobbly, spins smooth. Looks naturey, woody, is metal. Looks heavy, is light. Looks ancient, is modern. Just dig it, just on every level. So, can Hobby Timmy recommend it? I feel like part of me wants to give it the 1.5 thumb, but I got to give it 2 thumbs. Because if this is something you can swing, you got to get it. I think, you know, the reason I was on the fence with the 2.5 thumb, the 1.5 thumbs versus 2 thumbs is because, you know, it's pricey and it's a luxury, but sometimes something like this is what you're going for, right? It's the art. It is the artistry. It's the masterpiece. So 2 thumbs, no question up about this. If you've already got this, or, you know, that money is not in, you know, that's not affordable for you, the $300, you know, get something like this. Definitely pick this up. But again, for me, the value here for a piece of art, like, I'm someone that I appreciate art and I'm willing to spend a little bit for it. I'm willing to pay an artist for their craft. I'm someone who's a bit of an artist myself, if you haven't noticed, with some of the things I do. And I undervalue my art a lot, and I really hate to see that, especially with other people. So I think this is worth it. I think this is amazing. I think it's an amazing, amazing piece. I don't want to ruin any top 10s, but I bet you guys can guess where this would land. So Look at it. Just look how gorgeous it is. Look at that. Also, look, juxtaposition. Lasered buttons. Precision exact design. Random, handmade textures all around it. Just, it's so deep. Every time I look at it and think about it a little bit more, I realize some extra level that I'm loving on it. So, love it, 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 love it. So, yeah. There you have it, Internet. Should we get them all spinning? Look at that little guy go. For a ring spinner, man, this thing goes, bud. Let me tell you what. This thing just goes. Sorry, guy, you didn't get as much airtime in this because we were looking at these guys, but we love that Compoform around here, so. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Anywho. All right, Internet. I'm going to leave it at that, so. I love you. We'll chat later. Kisses. Oh, we got to, hang on, we got to leave it so you can really, watch, we'll do this. We'll do this. Kisses.